In the vast, unending blue of the Pacific Ocean, there lies a string of tiny islands. These are the atolls of Tuvalu. They are little more than slivers of coral and sand, held together by the tenacious roots of coconut palms and pandanus trees. From above, they appear as delicate green necklaces afloat on a sapphire canvas, so small they seem almost an illusion. The sky here is immense, a dome of purest blue by day, and a velvet cloth scattered with the dust of 1 billion stars by night. It is a place where time itself seems to move differently, measured not by the ticking of a clock, but by the slow, gentle pulse of the tide against the shore. The air hangs warm and heavy, thick with the scent of salt and sweet decaying blossoms. The only sounds are those of nature's own making. The soft rustle of palm fronds dancing in the constant sea breeze sounds like a gentle, continuous sigh. The waves, which have traveled thousands of miles to reach these shores, break with a soft, rhythmic shush upon the white sands. Here, life unfolds at a pace dictated by the sun and the sea. There is a quiet reverence in the atmosphere, a sense of being in a place that has remained untouched by the frantic pace of the outside world, a sanctuary of profound and undisturbed peace. Wildlife here moves with a similar, unhurried grace. A ghost crab, pale as the sand itself, might emerge from its burrow, its stalked eyes swiveling slowly as it assesses the world. It moves with a delicate, sideways scuttle, a fleeting creature of the twilight hours. In the shallows of the lagoon, a green sea turtle, an ancient mariner of these waters, glides effortlessly through the clear turquoise depths. Its movements are slow, deliberate, and imbued with a wisdom that seems as old as the ocean itself, a silent guardian of this fragile paradise. The islands themselves are alive, breathing with the ebb and flow of the ocean that surrounds and sustains them. They are a testament to the resilience of life, a delicate ecosystem perched on the very edge of existence. To walk along the shore is to feel the fine coral sand between your toes and to understand the profound connection between the land, the sea, and the sky. It is a place of mesmerizing beauty, where every grain of sand and every ripple on the water tells a story of survival, adaptation, and the enduring power of nature in its most elemental and beautiful form. Amidst this backdrop of staggering natural beauty, the people of Tuvalu live a life deeply intertwined with their environment. Their culture is as rich and as ancient as the coral reefs that protect their islands. It is a culture woven from stories, from songs, and from traditions passed down through countless generations. These customs are not written in books, but are carried on the whispers of the wind, in the shared memories of the elders, and in the daily rituals of the community. They are the invisible threads that bind the people together, giving their lives meaning and purpose in this remote corner of the world. There is one tradition in particular that speaks volumes about the Tuvaluan way of life. It is a custom so simple, yet so profound, that it captures the very essence of their values. It is a practice connected to the most universal of human experiences, the union of two people in love. In many cultures, this moment is marked by grand displays of wealth, by the exchange of precious metals and sparkling gemstones. But here, in Tuvalu, the symbol of this profound commitment is something far more humble, yet infinitely more meaningful. It is a single, perfect coconut. The idea of a coconut as a bride price might to an outsider seem puzzling, perhaps even quaint. How can a simple fruit, so abundant on these islands, hold such significance? This is the question that hangs in the warm, salty air. It hints at a deeper understanding of value, a different way of seeing the world. The suspense builds not from a sense of danger, but from a growing curiosity. We begin to suspect that this is not merely a transaction, but a rich and complex symbol, a story waiting to be unfurled and understood in its entirety. Every custom, no matter how simple it may appear on the surface, has a deep and resonant meaning. It is a key that can unlock the secrets of a culture, revealing what its people hold most dear. The tradition of the coconut is no different. It is a silent language, a form of communication that speaks of love, of commitment, and of the fundamental importance of community. To understand this tradition is to begin to understand the very heart of Tuvalu, a heart that beats in time with the gentle rhythm of the ocean. An everyday moment in a Tuvaluan village unfolds with a quiet, cinematic grace. As the morning sun climbs higher in the sky, its light filters through the woven pandanus leaves of the fatele walls, casting shifting patterns on the floor. The village is a collection of simple, open-sided dwellings, designed to welcome the cooling sea breeze. Life is lived largely in the open, under the vast, watchful sky. The sounds are a gentle symphony of domestic life, the soft scrape of a knife against a taro root, the rhythmic thud of a woman beating pandanus leaves to soften them for weaving, and the distant laughter of children playing in the shallows of the lagoon. The air is filled with the murmur of the sea, a constant companion that shapes every aspect of life. It is a sound so ever-present that it becomes a form of silence, a backdrop against which all other sounds are measured. The wind, another constant presence, carries with it the scent of wood smoke from cooking fires and the sweet fragrance of frangipani blossoms. It rustles through the coconut palms, their fronds clattering gently against one another like a natural wind chime, a sound that is as comforting and familiar as a lullaby to the people who live here. In the center of the village, a group of elders might be gathered in the shade of a large breadfruit tree. They sit on woven mats, their faces etched with the stories of a lifetime spent under the Pacific sun. They speak in low, measured tones, their conversation punctuated by long, comfortable silences. They are the keepers of the island's history, the living library of its traditions. A young boy watches them from a distance, absorbing the unspoken lessons of respect and community, learning the rhythm of life simply by being present, by listening, and by observing. This is a life of profound simplicity, but it is not an empty life. It is filled with purpose, with connection, and with a deep sense of belonging. Each person has a role to play, a contribution to make to the well-being of the whole. The fisherman who brings in the day's catch, the woman who tends the taro patch, the elder who shares a story, all are essential parts of a complex and beautifully balanced social fabric. It is a peaceful existence, a life lived in harmony with nature and with one another, a testament to a different kind of wealth. The tradition of the coconut as a bride price is not about material wealth. It is about something far more precious. In this island nation, the coconut palm is not just a tree, it is the tree of life. It provides food, drink, shelter, and medicine. Its trunk can be used for building, its leaves for weaving, its husk for fuel, and its sweet water for refreshment. Every part of the tree is used and nothing is wasted. It is the ultimate symbol of sustenance, of provision, and of life itself. To give a coconut, therefore, is to offer a promise of this sustenance to a partner. When a young man chooses a coconut for his intended bride, He is not merely picking a fruit from a tree. He is making a silent and profound declaration. He is saying, "With this, I offer you all that I have. I offer you the promise of a home, of food, of a life sustained by the gifts of our island. I promise to care for you, to provide for you, and to build a future with you, just as this tree has provided for our people for generations." It is a symbol of his ability and his willingness to nurture and support a family, a vow encapsulated in a single humble seed. This single act carries the weight of an entire community's values. It reflects a deep understanding that true wealth is not measured in possessions, but in the ability to care for one another. The coconut represents a promise not just to the bride, but to her entire family. It is an assurance that their daughter will be joining a partnership built on a foundation of responsibility and mutual support. It is a testament to the idea that love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a practical daily commitment to another person's well-being and happiness. The beauty of this tradition lies in its profound simplicity and its deep connection to the natural world. It elevates an everyday object to a sacred status, imbuing it with layers of meaning and significance. The coconut becomes a vessel for hope, a symbol of devotion, and a tangible representation of a promise that is as enduring and as life-giving as the tree from which it came. It is a powerful reminder that the greatest gifts are often not the most expensive, but the most meaningful, speaking a language of love that transcends words. The process of selecting the coconut is, a ritual in itself, undertaken with great seriousness and care. The young man does not simply grab the first one he sees. He will spend days, sometimes even weeks, just observing the trees, searching for the perfect specimen. He walks through the groves, his eyes scanning the high fronds, his mind focused on the task. He is not just looking for a coconut, he is looking for a symbol of his intentions, and it must be flawless. The coconut he chooses will be judged by the bride's family as a reflection of his character and his commitment. He looks for a coconut of a particular kind, known as the uto. This is a sprouting coconut, one where a new shoot has begun to emerge from the husk. This is crucial. A simple drinking coconut would speak only of temporary refreshment. But the sprouting coconut is a symbol of new life, of growth, and of the future. It represents the beginning of a new family tree, a new generation that will grow and flourish from the union of the couple. The choice of a sprouting coconut is a message of hope, fertility, and the continuation of the family line. The physical qualities of the coconut are also of paramount importance. It must be large and well-formed, its husk a healthy, vibrant color. It should feel heavy in the hand, a sign that it is full of nourishing meat and sweet water. The young man will climb the tall, slender trunk of the palm tree, a feat of incredible skill and agility, to inspect his chosen fruit up close. He will tap it gently, listening for the right sound, feeling its weight, ensuring it is the perfect embodiment of his promise before he carefully cuts it from the bunch. This careful selection process is, honestly, a silent testament to his dedication. It shows his patience, his attention to detail, and his respect for the tradition and for the woman he wishes to marry. Every step is imbued with meaning. The long search, the difficult climb, the careful inspection, all of these actions are part of the gift. They demonstrate that his love is not a casual affair, but a serious and deliberate commitment for which he is willing to expend great effort. The coconut is not just a gift, it is the culmination of a heartfelt quest. The moment of presentation is one of quiet solemnity and understated emotion. There is no grand ceremony, no loud pronouncements. The young man, accompanied by a male elder from his family, will approach the home of the young woman. He carries the chosen coconut, the sprouting uto, cradled carefully in his hands. His heart pounds in his chest, a drumbeat against the steady rhythm of the nearby waves. The air is thick with anticipation as he stands before the bride's family, who will have gathered to receive him. It is a moment where the future of two lives hangs in the balance. He does not speak at first. Instead, he simply kneels and places the coconut on a woven mat before the bride's father. This simple, humble gesture is laden with meaning. It is an act of respect, of deference, and of supplication. By placing the gift on the ground, he is humbling himself before her family, acknowledging their authority and seeking their blessing. The coconut, with its small green shoot pointing towards the sky, sits between them, a silent orator telling a story of potential, growth, and a shared future. All eyes are on this single, powerful symbol. The bride's father will then pick up the coconut. He examines it with a practiced eye. He feels its weight, assesses its size, and looks closely at the health of the sprout. He is not just inspecting a fruit, he is reading the character and intentions of the young man before him. A small, weak, or non-sprouting coconut would be an insult, a sign of laziness or a lack of serious intent. But a perfect uto, carefully chosen and respectfully presented, speaks volumes. It speaks of a young man who is strong, resourceful, and sincere in his affections. If the father is satisfied, he will give a slight nod. This is the moment of acceptance. A quiet murmur of approval ripples through the family. The tension in the air dissipates, replaced by a feeling of communal joy. The father may then offer the young man a cup of coconut water or a piece of fruit, a gesture signifying that he is now welcome, that he is accepted as a future son-in-law. The silent vow has been made and received. The single seed of devotion has been planted, and with the family's blessing, it will now be allowed to grow. The acceptance of the coconut marks the beginning of a process that is as much about weaving two families together as it is about uniting two individuals. The tradition is a powerful force for community cohesion. It reinforces the idea that a marriage is not a private affair, but a communal event that strengthens the entire village. The simple act of giving and receiving the coconut sets in motion a series of reciprocal obligations and celebrations that bind everyone closer together. The engagement is now public, and the entire community shares in the joy and the responsibility. Following the acceptance, the families begin to prepare for the wedding festivities. This is a collective effort. The women of the bride's family will gather to weave new mats, fine tapas cloths, and decorative garlands. Their hands move with a practiced, rhythmic grace, their conversations and songs filling the air as they work. At the same time, the men of the groom's family will begin to prepare the feast, organizing fishing expeditions and harvesting taro and breadfruit. Everyone has a role, and everyone contributes, reinforcing the bonds of kinship and mutual support. The coconut itself continues to play a central role. The sprouting coconut that was presented is carefully planted in a place of honor, often near the couple's new home. It is tended and watered, a living symbol of their union and the new family they are creating. As the tree grows, it will serve as a constant reminder of the promises made on that day. Years later, the couple will be able to point to the tall, fruit-bearing palm and tell their children the story of its origin, passing the tradition and its values down to the next generation. This emphasis on community and family provides a powerful support system for the new couple. They know that they are not alone in their journey. They are part of a network of care, an intricate web of relationships that will support them through an entire lifetime of challenges and triumphs. The tradition of the coconut, therefore, does more than just symbolize love between two people. It reaffirms the strength and importance of the entire community. It is a beautiful illustration of the Tuvaluan proverb, Fale Etasi, Doda Etasi, one house, one family. The wedding celebration is the culmination of all this preparation, a joyous explosion of community spirit. As dusk settles over the island, the village gathers for the feast. Long tables are laden with the bounty of the land and the sea. There is roasted pig, fish wrapped in banana leaves and cooked in underground ovens, piles of taro and breadfruit, and of course, an abundance of coconuts in every conceivable form, their sweet water to drink, their rich cream used in sauces, their grated meat sprinkled over dishes. The air is thick with the delicious smells of cooking and the sound of happy chatter. As the stars begin to appear in the darkening sky, the entertainment begins. The rhythmic beat of wooden drums echoes through the night, calling everyone to the village meeting ground. This is the time for the fatele, the traditional songs and dances of Tuvalu. Dancers, their bodies glistening with coconut oil and adorned with garlands of flowers, move with a vibrant energy. Their movements tell stories of heroic voyages, of bountiful fishing trips, and of the beauty of their island home. The entire community participates, from the youngest children to the oldest elders, clapping, singing, and celebrating together. The bride and groom are at the center of it all, seated in a place of honor. They are showered with gifts, not of gold or silver, but of finely woven mats, practical tools, and other items that will help them start their new life together. Each gift is a gesture of love and support from the community. The couple's happiness is reflected on the faces of everyone present. Their union is a celebration for the entire village, a reaffirmation of life, continuity, and the enduring strength of their culture. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. The celebrations can last long into the night, under the silent watch of the Southern Cross. The sounds of music and laughter drift out over the calm lagoon, a beacon of warmth and life in the vastness of the ocean. This is more than just a party. It is a powerful ritual that renews the bonds of the community. It is a reminder that in Tuvalu, life's most important moments are not experienced alone, but are shared with everyone. The feast is a celebration of love, of family, and of the simple, profound joy of being together. In a world that is constantly changing, where ancient customs are too often lost to the relentless march of modernity, the traditions of Tuvalu endure. They persist not as relics of a bygone era, but as living, breathing aspects of daily life. The tradition of the coconut for a bride is a perfect example of this resilience. It is a custom that continues to be practiced not out of blind obligation, but because it still holds profound meaning for the people who live here. It speaks to a set of values that remain deeply relevant: community, responsibility, and a reverent connection to the natural world. The slow, cinematic rhythm of life on these atolls allows such customs to thrive. Here, there is time for reflection, for ceremony, and for the quiet observance of traditions that have been passed down for centuries. The vast, empty horizons of the Pacific seem to insulate the islands, creating a space where a different way of being is still possible. It is a way of life that finds wealth not in accumulation, but in connection, that finds beauty not in extravagance, but in simplicity, and that finds love not in grand romantic gestures, but in the quiet, daily promise of care and provision. The timelessness of these customs is reflected in the landscape itself. The sea, the sky, the palms, these things do not change. They are the same today as they were 1,000 years ago. And so it is with the heart of the Tuvaluan people. Their love for their families, their respect for their elders, and their deep bond with their island home are as constant as the tides. The coconut, with its promise of new life and sustenance, is the perfect symbol for this enduring spirit. A single seed that contains within it the past, the present, and the future of a people. To witness this life is to be reminded of a fundamental truth. That love, in its purest form, is about the promise of growth, support, and a shared future. It is a promise beautifully and simply expressed in the gift of a single sprouting coconut. It is a lesson from the heart of the ocean, a quiet and reverent reflection on the enduring beauty of a life lived in harmony with nature and with one another. Here in Tuvalu, love is not just a feeling. It is a seed that is planted, nurtured, and allowed to grow, becoming a tree that will shelter and sustain generations to come.